the locked door, the constant worry, the increasing annoyance of Caden. Quarantine is going to be the death of me instead of the actual virus. If you remember my last post, you'd recall that only 3 residents of Barmwich became sick, one of them dead. The remaining 2 are so close to being completely fine since they've been quarantining in the deepest parts of our one and only hospital. Mayor Branch declared that when the 2 residents are 100% not infected, the town will reopen. Many, including my father, think that is a bad idea, but to be fair, no one else has gotten the virus, no one else is really sick. I've seen some people outside walking around, no gloves or masks, and they seem perfectly fine. It's like Barmwich has a force field around the town that prevents most of us from being infected. Now that may sound like a good thing, but amidst this new situation, it's not. For you see, Barmwich has a serial killer lurking in the night. The DoorDash killer struck for the first time on the 1st of May. Abby Reindahl, a local 25-year-old babysitter who lived a few blocks away from me, was found in her front doorway, her head so bloody her face was unrecognizable. She was identified from blood tests. The cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, probably due to someone smashing her head against the door. Her phone was still on when they found her. The DoorDash app was on screen, and it showed that her food had been delivered. Her murder came out on the morning news the next day. Now, you'd expect that the people would stop using the DoorDash app after this for a little while. But Timothy Riz didn't think he needed to. Later that night, police found him bloody and in his doorway, his phone on and reading that his McDonald's has been delivered. The next day, Alice Pines. The day after that, Dallin Best. So far, there have only been 8 victims, 1 for every day of May. Today is the 9th, so everyone is assuming another one of our neighbors will fall tonight. Stakeouts and neighborhood patrols are practically all over town, securing the streets as they're putting it. Hopefully, people aren't stupid enough to order anything from DoorDash tonight, but seeing how people are becoming all over the world, I'd say those chances aren't very likely. There are multiple suspects, of course, but only one of them makes sense, at least to me. My teacher, Mr. Phillips. Last month, the town went into even more shock when we all learned that 5th grade elementary school teacher, Mr. Phillips, went insane and murdered 2 people, dumping their bodies near the train tracks just outside of town. Police immediately identified Phillips as the culprit since he didn't bother to put gloves on, touching the bodies with his plain naked hands. When they raided Phillips' house, he was long gone, skipping town. At least that's what my parents think. For all we know, he could still be here, lurking around the streets at night. Why he did it is still unknown. Was he always crazy, just hiding it away? Did the quarantine finally get to his head? Maybe we'll find out, probably not though. If you're wondering why the police can't just check who was making all the deliveries, it's because they did. Mark S., later identified as Mark Smith, is the driver who's been getting all the deliveries for the dead victims. When checking the town records, the only Mark Smith in the town was a teenager who was reported missing decades ago, still hasn't been found. Clearly a fake identity, which is why the police are looking at people like Mr. Phillips. My theory is that Phillips became a DoorDash driver using the name Mark Smith and has been picking up deliveries. No one would recognize him when he would go to pick up the food since everyone has to wear a quarantine mask. That's why, in my opinion, my former teacher makes the most sense. But the police believe it's another DoorDash driver, Daniel Sanchez. His alibi is extremely suspicious. He was spotted near Dallin Best's house after the call to the police came in. But at the same time, all delivery orders he was given during the rest of the murders were miles away. Nobody except for the killer, him or herself, really know what's going on, which is scaring pretty much everyone, including me, which does not come easy anymore. That's basically it for now, since nothing else has really happened. Yeah, there's still the occasional walking globe and the mystical golden trees enticing us to come closer and pick the leaves. But other than that, not much has happened. Well, Carly Wishton, my new neighbor, has been coming over almost every day now, mainly for 2 reasons. Her parents have become close friends with my parents only after a month of living here, and the fact that Carly knows literally no one else besides me and my family. When she comes over, it's extremely awkward. She's the first girl that's ever come over to my house, and I don't really know what girls my age like. Barbies are still cool, right? Oh yeah, my baby brother Caden clearly finds her attractive, as every time she's here, Caden seems to just show up randomly and never leave, blushing and always trying to talk to her, which is just annoying toddler babbling since, he's 2 years old. She normally brushes it off, but to me, it just makes the whole thing more awkward. Kind of like this situation Barmwich finds itself in right now. That's really it for now. I'll check in with you guys next month. Bye.